Good afternoon. It is Monday, November 14th, 2016. Uh, Welcome to the Brothers of Men channel. This is a new channel, and this is going to be kind of our what this channel is about. Uh, and First off, oops, for the most part, I'm not going to have a lot of. I'm not going to be reading off of a teleprompter or anything like that. Basically, what I want to do is to, you know, go through the things that are happening right now, uh, and just kind of an open forum discussion. If you guys want to leave comments, leave comments. Tell me what you think. But basically, the mission statement of this channel is I want to send a message out to the public. And the reason that I chose the name Brothers of Men is because I believe that, we're all the same we're all the same species. We're all the same race, you know. We have different skin colors, different features, but we're all human beings. And I feel like we have fallen into this trap that has been set up, uh, through people more powerful than we are. And I want to try to expose some of that. Um, I want to discover the truth, and I want to yell it from a mountaintop. Now, I don't have a mountain, but I have a computer. So that's basically the goal. I want to get past race and religion because, there's no difference between a black slave and a white slave. We're all slaves. And I want to expose that because exposing evil, exposing, you know, bringing light into darkness neutralizes the darkness. And that's what I want to do. So I will be posting a video a couple of times a week. And, give me a like, please subscribe. Uh, it's really weird because I always hear people telling me to subscribe and to like, so it's weird me asking. So anyway, if you would subscribe and like, and so now that you kind of know what we're about, and I'm like most YouTube people, I'm doing this in an extra room in my house. Well, it's not an extra room, but uh, you know, I'm just a normal guy. I drive a truck for a living. I have a wife. I have five beautiful girls. So, I'm not rich. I would actually consider myself borderline poor. Uh, but I don't think that matters because we're all the same, and different people have different viewpoints, and I want to give you mine. Uh, so if you're not interested in that, uh, you know, feel free to move on. Um, but I do encourage open discussions in the comments. Maybe we'll do a live feed, a live chat one day when if I get a little bigger. But today I wanted to go over post-election, and I know my first video is up, and it's called my post-election rant, I believe. Um, but some more things have come out. Uh, as we all know, there's a lot of riots going on throughout the country. And the thing that just blows my mind about this whole thing. You know, in Chicago, there is video footage of, uh, I would say hundreds, but it's probably not quite that many. We'll say dozens. I would say close to 100 buses right around in there, just lining a street just outside of downtown Chicago. And I mean, and I'm talking school buses, charter buses. You know, I'm not talking about vans that'll hold 12 people. I'm talking about a bus that'll haul 60 people. And they just lined the street for at least a mile. And there was probably close to 100 buses, if not more. Um, and I know are, a lot of those people are being paid. And, I was talking with somebody and they said, well, even if they are paid to protest, that's still a protest. And I mean, I guess that's right, but if I paid you, if if we were doing like the Pepsi challenge and I gave you $50 and said, told you to say you liked this one, you know, is that still your honest opinion? I mean, obviously people would be more likely to get off their butts and go out and do things that they really might not feel all that convicted by if you pay them. Uh, and that blows my mind that that's okay in this country. Now, you do have a right to free speech, and that's fine. And I approve of that. But when you start to riot and you set cop cars on fire and you destroy storefronts, chances are a lot of those people that they're hurting were Hillary supporters. And now we've gotten, you know, up until this point, every, for the most part, except for, I think Harrison Ford was a Trump supporter, which I thought that was cool. Uh, but, you've got all these celebrities, Amy Schumer, George Clooney, all these really left wing movie stars saying that they were going to leave the country, if Donald Trump won, which really just shows me that you're a big baby. And if you don't get your way, just like playing on a playground, if you don't get what you want, you're just going to leave and go play with some other kids. And that's what our country's become now. Is we're a bunch of entitled babies that instead of, you know, taking it on the chin, getting back up and saying, okay, we lost. We'll do better next time. We've got a lot of things we need to work out because I'm sorry. As much as I like Donald Trump, he would have lost to Bernie Sanders. So, in my mind, it's the Democratic Party who you should be holding accountable, not Trump voters or Trump supporters, but the Democratic Party. Because in the last 2 or 3 months, we all have seen the things that have come out about the Democratic Party. They stole the election from Bernie Sanders that came out on WikiLeaks. And if you want to say WikiLeaks isn't real, Rudy Giuliani came out and was talking about using WikiLeaks as proof in some of these investigations that are going on. So, pretty sure if Rudy Giuliani believes that they're real, and there's no denial coming from the left, they're probably real. So, holding Trump supporters accountable for Trump winning is ridiculous because, you know, uh, a lot of people went from Democrats to supporting Trump because of all of the corruption in the Democratic Party. Now, the reason they went for Trump, I don't believe they would have gone and supported somebody like Cruz or Rubio. They supported Trump because he was an outsider, because he wasn't a part of the establishment, because he was going against the establishment, which is where all of this corruption comes from. So, the media. I am so sick of the media, the mainstream media. I could blow my brains out. It's 66 days until Donald Trump is, going to be put in office. 66 days. And they're already saying, oh, Trump's already breaking his promises. Trump's already, this and that. Which, if you go look at what he's saying, I believe he's actually become a little bit more reasonable. I'm not one to, deport every single immigrant or, completely get rid of Obamacare because it does do some people some good. And in Obamacare, he wants to keep a few things about Obamacare, keeping, uh, your kids on till they're 26 on your insurance. I think that's good because that's about when you get out of college, uh, and then you get your own insurance. The other thing that he wants to keep is insurance companies not being able to uh, deny somebody coverage. I think that's good because that was one of our big problems before was if you have had cancer within the last 7 years, you couldn't get insurance anywhere. So I think that is a good thing. Talking about building the wall. In some places, he wants to put a fence, and people are, saying that he's already going back. I don't know if you know this, but the border between Mexico and the United States isn't all flat land. Some places it might be smarter to put in a fence. It might be more cost effective. And it's just stuff like this, cherry picking little things. You know, Donald Trump wrote the book called The Art of the Deal. And he knows as a businessman that you have to give to get. And so stating that he's compromising, which he hasn't even done yet. I mean, you don't know. Sorry, that's probably gross. I had something stuck in my tooth. um, you don't even know if he's actually going to. He might just be blowing smoke up the Democrats' ass until he gets in, and then is going to do whatever he wants. You don't know that. But my thing is they are doing everything they can to demonize everything about Donald Trump. And it's frustrating, and you know all they have done is demonize Trump, lie about him, and now you have protesters and riots going on all over the country. And I just think that the media should be held accountable for their actions. Donald Trump didn't tell these people. Donald Trump actually, in an interview 2 or 3 days ago, said that all this stuff needed to stop. The media came out and said that there were some Trump supporters that were intimidating minorities, which I don't even know what that means or could be. I haven't seen any proof of it. The only thing that I have seen are anti-Trump people setting the American flag on fire and beating the shit out of white people. That's all I've seen. And he said, if you're doing that, you need to stop. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not who we are. The media held on to that interview, held on to that message for over 2 days before they released it. So, no, I guess you couldn't call that completely withholding information. But once again, it's a sneaky, snaky move to make Donald Trump look bad. And, Obama finally, after almost a week now, finally came out and told people like George Soros to stop doing this, to cut it out. And so I'm I don't know if you guys watched my video that I posted on Facebook. The music was a little loud, so I didn't. I'm not going to post that on here. Uh, but that was one of my big complaints: was the Democratic leaders aren't out there in the thick of it trying to get it to stop, and that was one of my big complaints. And now Barack Obama finally is on record saying that the protests and the riots need to stop. This is not what this country is about. You know, that's one of my big problems with society today is what I like to call the trophy generation, which started, I think it started with my generation and has gotten stronger. I call it the trophy generation because everybody gets a trophy, everybody wins, and that weakens you as a human. That teaches you to not handle defeat. You need to learn to lose because you're gonna lose sometimes. And, everybody getting a trophy, everybody being taught that their feelings matter, that their feelings are important, and that people that hurt your feelings are bad. That is, we're raising a bunch of children. And that's not what this country needs to be. That's not what we need right now. People in Islam are talking, about how unmanly we are. And they're saying that they're going to come over here and take our women because we're a bunch of pussies, basically. And, you know, and they're right. There's not a whole lot of manly men anymore. And I think there's more than one reason for that. So, I don't know if you've heard about a lot of the colleges having cry ins and taking time out of class to weep over this election. And I was watching Alex Jones earlier, and they showed footage of North Korea when Kim Jong Il died, and they were all hysterical. Which, from what I understand, if you didn't cry enough, you would disappear. So anyway, it was just kind of a funny parallel, but coddling people, especially people at that age, 18 to 22, you are you grow a lot in that period. I know I did. I grew a lot and I changed a lot. I'm a completely different person now at 29 than I was, at 18. Yeah, completely different person. And if you reinforce the belief that your feelings should dictate facts, you are going to raise a bunch of babies who can't make hard decisions, who can't, take a loss and keep going. I think that has been proven on an epic level. that we as a people cannot take a defeat. Now, most of those people who are in college now grew up with Obama. So that's all they really know. So to them, having a Republican get in, which Raven from That's So Raven, I think she was on The View, said if any Republican ever gets in office, she's going to move. Like what does that say about your intolerance? The left loving, tolerant, diversity people are going to move to another country if there is actual diversity brought in, if somebody who differs in opinion is brought in to lead the country. Oh, jeez. So anyway, uh, I wanted to say something that I really found interesting. Kurt Cobain said back before he died that he believed his generation was going to be the generation to wake up and realize that we were all being played from both sides, and we are. If you are an establishment Republican, you've been fooled. If you're an establishment Democrat, you've been fooled. People like libertarians and anarchists, real anarchists, okay? They're the teenagers who spray paint the circle with the A. They're not anarchists, okay? They're idiots. Anarchy, which has been a word that's demonized, what that actually is basically people governing themselves, people following common law, people being able to do what they want, and people being held accountable for their actions. But it's all done through the community. There isn't one big central government. Cities and communities or villages, or however you want to look at it, would create their own, small government. There would be no taxes on trade. People would be free to do it. So that's what anarchy is. Real anarchy, okay? It, People who, riot and throw Molotov cocktails and yell anarchy, that's what anarchy has been demonized to be. That's not what real anarchy is. Anarchy just means a lack of government, which, if people are raised right, if people have a mother and a father in the home, if people are taught, to respect other people and to respect themselves and to be honest and, have those virtues, then you can have anarchy. But unfortunately, uh, having mother and father in the home anymore is rare. Maybe not rare, but it's only about half. So you've got a whole other half of the country that doesn't know what it's like to have a dad every day of their life. You know, Men and women fill gaps. You know, Dads tend to be kind of, hard and, come on, push through it. You can do this. And moms are the nurturing, you know, babying kind of, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you need both of those. So now that you have a lot of single mother homes, mothers don't know how to be dads because they're not dads. And so now you've got a bunch of people, men and women, who have been raised by their mother because the fathers have been demonized and kicked out of the home. So now you've got a bunch of little babies, running around. Um, anyway, back to the Kurt Cobain thing. Uh, Kurt Cobain said that he realized, or that he thought his generation would be the one to wake up and realize they were being played on both sides. And he said one day he believed that we would elect a complete outsider, like, and he even used this as an example, a complete outsider billionaire who couldn't be bought and couldn't be controlled, like Donald Trump. And that's what he said. So for all of you hippie trendies out there with your beanies and your your skinny jeans and your Nirvana t-shirt, go think about that. So anyway, this whole thing, this isn't about race or religion or bigotry or homophobia or sexism. This is about real diversity, because we've turned racism upside down. Racism isn't about the color of your skin anymore. Racism is now about your opinion and your thoughts. If you don't think like the people around you think, you're demonized. I saw a homeless woman sitting on Donald Trump's star on the Walk of Fame, holding a sign up that said that she still supported Trump. And this crowd gathered around her and they beat the shit out of her. A homeless woman. And all the lady was doing was sitting there holding up her sign that said, "I'm still for Trump," or something like that. And they were saying that, and this is a black homeless woman, they were saying that she was spewing hate speech. How is having a different opinion hate speech? But punching a homeless woman and kicking her on the ground, how is that love and tolerance? So anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you guys very much for listening. Feel free to comment. Please subscribe and like. I just started this channel about 2 nights ago and uploaded my first video. So give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave comments, start a discussion if you guys want. And I'll check in from time to time. And I'll try and post one of these videos. I'll try and keep it around 30 minutes or so. Just kind of going through the week's news and whatnot. Uh, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I sparked some thoughts. And anyway, you guys be good and be good to each other. Have a good day. Bye-bye.